So it is Sunday night, and more information has come out about the horrible massacre in Sandy Hook. And what's kind of amazing is how much the story has changed from the initial reports. So what we know now is that the shooter was 20-year-old Adam Lanza. On Friday morning, he shot his mother 4 times in the head. And then he drove over to the elementary school and shot 20 kids and 6 teachers, including
Were they in
principal.
her class?
No, that was what was initially they said that it was Ryan Lanza and he shot his mother, who was a kindergarten teacher, in her class. That's
Why
not true.
Why do we fuck up so much initial information? And I know everyone goes like, well, in a panic. All right, well, let the dust settle and then give out the information.
Maybe the reporters shouldn't be the ones who are panicking also. I think that people are sourcing stuff from social media and from Twitter, and there's these things happening in real time, and the news outlets are struggling to keep up with Twitter.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. They're rushing to get information out there. Adam Lanza had his brother's ID on him. Oh. His brother, Ryan Lanza, who I believe we just saw a picture of, and that is why...
Why do you have his brother's ID on him?
That
so
hasn't
it wasn't
come out.
Both brothers, it was just the one.
It was just the one. It was just the one.
Because the initial
Adam
report was
Lanza.
that it was 2 of them.
Yes, yeah. But Ryan Lanza, the brother who's 24, who lives in Hoboken, was, as the news was reporting that it was Ryan Lanza, he was updating his Facebook page saying, like, it wasn't me, fuck you, CNN, it wasn't me. And so then some people thought, oh, this is an entirely other guy, but no, this is the brother.
Yeah.
So the Adam Lanza's parents divorced, I believe, about 4 years ago. His father and Ryan Lanza, the brother, hadn't spoken to Adam since 2010. Adam lived with his mother, who he killed.
Right.
He brought 3 firearms to the school: a Glock, a Sig Sauer, and a .223 Bushmaster. All the guns were registered to his mother.
That's so weird. Okay, first off, I've said this a million times. If you're going to kill yourself eventually, just save yourself the fucking trip and the gas and the heartache, and just fucking kill yourself at home in your room. Like, put on some fucking Guar or Deep Purple or Ozzy Osbourne or something.
Chumbawamba.
Oh yeah, I'm not even depressed, but I would consider knocking my own self down and not getting up again.
Yeah.
If thank you.
The only thing that would be thumping is your head in the
yeah,
tub.
Right. Oh, those assholes. They're anarchists. I hate those fucking guys. I wish they would kill themselves. But the point is put on some death goth rock and just kill yourself at home. Don't go on the fucking killing spree and then kill yourself. And if you do go on the killing spree, at least let a SWAT guy fucking put a bullet between your head. I mean, it's the only satisfaction we could get out of this.
He shot himself as police arrived at the campus. The way he got into the school, because the school was, secure, he used 15 rounds to shoot a hole in a window and then stepped through. It's just, it's like unspeakably awful.
All right. So here's the thing. So everyone gets into the gun control thing, which I'm all for the assault rifles and all that, and get them off the streets and the banana clips and what's that?
You're all for banning.
Banning. Yeah, we don't need. If people want to hunt, they can hunt. If they want handguns for protection, a shotgun's good for protection. That kind of stuff. I don't need the assault rifle part. But what's going on? Like, everyone's like, what's happening? What's going on psychologically? And I'm not a big fan of the copycat theory. But I am a big fan of the theory of once something is done, it then becomes doable. Like, who broke the 4-minute mile? Roger Bannister? Yeah, right, Roger Bannister. So everyone thought the 4-minute mile was unbreakable. And then a guy broke the 4-minute mile. He did 3:58, whatever. And then everyone broke. And then at that point, everyone did it. Because somehow, it's not like human beings grew an extra muscle in their leg after he did this. It's just everyone just figured out, oh, you could do this, and then they just did it, and now it's been crushed. And you take, like, Tony Hawk did his 780 or 760 or whatever, and it was like that was a big deal. Remember on the skateboard that X Games, and everyone was like, holy shit, he did a 760, and it was a big deal. And now 13-year-olds do it because it was done. So there's this weird thing of, once somebody sees something being done...
something being a school shooting?
Anything. That's the problem. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, it can, once somebody does it, you go, oh, and I don't know if it's a copycat. You know, I don't know if all the guys who broke the 4-minute mile were copycatters. They just went like, oh, it can be done. And then what hadn't been done in 100 years was done by 10 other guys in the next 5 years. That's the thing. So we do have this capacity. The other thing is, there's a lot of mental instability, and, you know, I'm not one of these guys like, oh, ban everything, but these fucking video games where you're just shooting shit all day
randomly
long.
killing everybody.
Well, let's put it this way. It can't be helping. Can it help? I mean, it's at least a push, but it's literally...
He did play video games.
Every fucking idiot plays video games.
Yeah, but...
I fucking hate video
games. But look how many idiots don't turn to violence.
No, obviously not. But my son said to me today, he wanted me to play Wii with him today. I Wii on people, but I don't actually play Wii. That's the way Daddy rolls. You want to go in the shower, I'll give you a nice Wii. And he said, I want you to play a video game. And I said, I don't play video games. I don't like it. I don't want no part of it.
And you're not good at it.
Your brain. Oh, yeah. Well, that too. I suck at it. We're getting the shit kicked out of you by 6-year-old and Donkey Kong. Not the way to go. But that's just the point. They used to play Donkey Kong and all that stuff. But simulation. So, okay, interesting thing. So I was giving this some thought. I was driving with a bunch of dudes to Laguna Seca, to the racetrack up north. Laguna Seca, yeah. And fans of the road course. Yeah, cool course. And I was a little bit nervous because I'd never driven on the track before. And I said, well, I'm going to have to learn this track in this race car. And the guy I was driving up there with said, I can give you some tips. And I said, how can you give me some tips? And he's like, I've driven that track 1,000,000 times. I said, you don't even fucking have a car. He said, I got Gran Turismo. And he said, I drive Laguna Seca on Gran Turismo. I can tell you where to apex a corner and what speed you should be at and where to downshift. And I realized this guy had done 200,000 laps at Laguna Seca.
Theoretically,
yeah, from his living room high,
yeah,
with a Twizzler, you know, as a stick shift.
Yeah.
Now I've done 150 laps at Laguna Seca in a car, but this guy still could get around the track faster than I could because he's done 200,000 fake laps around Laguna Seca. And I realized if I had put him in my car, it would have been very easy for him to drive that car around Laguna Seca because he had been there in his mind. So when you spend the day being depressed and shooting shit at a big flat screen TV, I do think it makes it easier to do it in real life.
Couple things, though. His mother had taken him to gun ranges with her, so she had bragged is too strong, but you know, she said that she had taught her sons how to shoot, and like that was a thing that
right.
She was into. She was into the fact that she had taught them how to properly shoot a gun and stuff. So I would say that not only did he have this virtual experience with it, he had actual experience with it. I've read that he had a personality disorder. I've read that people thought he had Asperger's. At the very beginning, there were those people who were coming out and saying that it was shocking. He seemed like a nice kid, but then pretty quickly, what's coming out is no, people could tell that there was something off about him. He didn't feel physical sensation or pain. Like
really?
He was in a technology club, and the teacher said that he had to be careful because he's the kind of kid where if he had burned himself, he wouldn't feel it. And then
was he lacking a sense?
With Asperger's, people are usually either oversensitive or not, or like undersensitive.
All right, but the point is this: like everyone wants to know, how are we going to prevent this? And the answer is you cannot prevent this. It's not preventable. What you can do is you can try to shrink the number of times it happens in our lifetime and in our kids' lifetime. Or in a week now. The whole idea is, you know, it's basically cancer. It's like, what can you do about it? Well, nothing. It's out there. But here's what we can try to do to decrease the chances of this thing or you being afflicted by it. And so I've always said this, you know, teachers, they're outnumbered 30, 35 to 1. These guys, you know, administrators, counselors, nobody knows what's going on at home like the people who live in the fucking house. I mean, it's got to be about the parents. Ultimately, that is the first and last line of defense. We're never going to have a society that has enough people and enough security guards and enough measures. I mean, yeah, there's shit you can do, but never enough to prevent this. There are as many guns as there are human beings on the planet, and there's many nut jobs as there are, on the planet. I mean, there's fucking half the people are on some sort of medication. So the parents need to be the cops and the teachers and the priests and the counselors. There's just not enough. The parent needs to do it. You have a daughter, it's up to you if she starts going fucking nutty. Hopefully she'll just be a stripper and it'll be what we call win-win. But my son starts carving, starts drawing pentagrams in his mashed potatoes and talking to me about Lucifer, I'm gonna get him some goddamn counseling. I mean, that's it. That's all we can do.
She said that she felt like she was losing her ability to reach him, and he had started burning himself in the last year.
She should have taken him to a fighting sport as opposed to teaching him how to fire a gun.
Yeah, use the box, right?
Yeah, get your aggression out.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, I think these guys are cowards, and again, I'm not one of these guys like who's a big gun, whatever. But I got to tell you, like, I like the idea of a sky marshal. For instance, like if I fly and somebody says your ticket's going to cost an extra $8 because there's going to be a dude who played a little junior college football who's wearing a bad tweed sport coat, who's sitting up in first class, who's packing some heat, and is going to shoot anyone who looks like Russell Peters, who goes to the bathroom in too big a hurry. I'll pay that extra $8.
I had one of those guys on a flight beside me one time.
I did too.
Yeah, he wouldn't talk.
I got him. I got my guy to fucking
talk to me. That's for fucking sure.
My guy should be fired because I fucking sweated him in a second. Like I saw the guy who, the guy. It's basically my stepdad at a funeral. Like he's never worn a fucking jacket and tie in his life. Yeah. It's like the guy you see in court, the fucking tweakers in court who's sitting there wearing a fucking tie. Like He's never had a tie or a jacket on in his life, and he literally can't walk. He walks like Frankenstein, and I can't turn my head.
Uncomfortable.
He does not look like you see guys.
They don't even have the meal.
Yeah, guys that are guys that are attorneys who live in jackets and ties and suits. They move. They could play fucking ultimate frisbee in a 3-piece suit with wingtips. But you see the guy in court there. So this guy was sitting there with a jacket on, but he looked really weird and uncomfortable, like he borrowed it from somebody. And then he was just sitting next to me, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going up there?" And he said, "Yeah, how you doing?" And he didn't look. I'm sorry for being one of the 1%ers. He didn't look like one of us. He wasn't He didn't look first class to me. He looked like first class. I gave him a sniff. He didn't look first class material. All I got back was when I gave the whiff, I got Lavorce with a little aqua velva. And I was like, "That ain't first class. That ain't first class." And I was stuffed into this jacket, and I said, "What's happening?" He's like, "Yeah, doing good, And I said, What business you in?" He's like, "It's just do a little business, a little travel, sales." He didn't have his rap together at all.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, what do you sell?" He's like, "All right, I'm a sky marshal. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore."
My guy told me at the end of the flight.
Oh, he did. Yeah. This guy had no fucking rap.
I feel like your guy, that's his first and last day on the job.
Well, he also told me what percentage of flights had sky marshals on them.
And?
He told me I couldn't say anything.
Well, just don't say his name.
Well, let's see. What's Cam Newton's number? I mean, it's like we're not squarely. The Jewish broad will tell us over here. Cam Newton, big fan. No, what I'm saying is it ain't Warren Sapp's number. We'll find Cam Newton. We'll find Warren Sapp. We'll put a picture up there. I'll let you guys do the math on that. But the point is it's more Doug Flutie than it is. Put a percentage point behind that. Find Sapp just to make sure if I'm on some sort of weird.
You got that one.
I got that one. Yeah. All right, but let's do it just so I can have everyone suck my dick here. There you go. There you go. Thank you. I don't know. I couldn't name a vice president, but I can tell you every black guy who ever put on shoulder pads. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. All right. No. Sky Marshal. Here's what I'm saying. I would pay my school an extra $10 a month to have some dude walking around with a fucking buzz cut and a bad mustache who was packing heat. Who, ex whatever, military, whoever, some guy looked like Arlie Ermy, just kind of fucking walking around, just walking the halls, right? Like,
get on your knees, scumbag!
First off, I think a lot of these guys are cowards. I don't think they would do it knowing that this guy was just around. And I know everyone's thing is like, look, adding another gun to the equation is not going to help. I disagree wholeheartedly. I would like a gun added to the equation if it's in the hands of the right guy.
I would like fewer of us to have guns and more of them to have guns. And I'm sure there's a lot of people on Twitter who are going to get up my ass about that one.
It's fine.
Yeah, but I kind of do feel like this could be a tipping point in terms of the gun control debate.
But here's the thing. We talk about gun control like they talk about fucking birth control in Africa. It's great in theory. It just ain't happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I think the people that might have been a little bit more on the fence are more passionate right now.
But here's the thing. This guy has legal things. They're registered to his mom. It's that's the whole thing. And then some fucking lunatic in Japan has to go on a stabbing spree the very next day and fuck up everyone's argument.
They get 22
well,
people
yeah,
or
but they're alive.
Yeah, they're
alive.
They
didn't die.
Yeah. They'll kill themselves later because of post-traumatic stress disorder. But either way, they're alive today. See, there's a happy ending here.
Right.
No. Well, here's what I'm saying. There's the gun control thing is almost like I'll make the same argument that like potheads make. Like it's out. It's out. We can't get this.
I know.
We can't unring this bell. There are literally, 49% of American households have a gun. Something insane like that. I mean, we're from here, so it's like we know one gay couple and they don't have a gun, so we're like, what the hell? But go to one of the red states. They're all fucking packing heat over there. And there's literally, I think there's like, 314 million Americans and 315 million guns that are like out. So the control part is like, it's going to be hard. I'm all for the getting rid of the assault rifles and all that stuff. But hey, fucking people can go Timothy McVeigh on your ass. I mean, they can get a Ryder truck, pack it full of fertilizer, park in front of a federal building, and take out hundreds of people. I mean, that's the society we're living in. He didn't have a gun. He managed to take out way more than 26, 27 souls, sadly. So my thing is it's done. It's out. I agree, control it. And then let's send the fucking ex-jarhead down to the mall, down to the school, and down to whatever. We're all going to have to pay an extra quarter when we buy something at the mall or when we enroll our kids in school. And this fucking guy's going to walk around with his fucking thing on his hip and his flak jacket on. That's it. It's sad, but that's it. That's where we're at.
And so then the following day, there was a shooting at Fashion Island. No one was hurt, but there was a shooting at Fashion Island, which is down in Orange County. It's the mall where I worked at Sam Goody as a greeter.
Fashion Island.
Hi, welcome. Bye, thank you for showing.
That's like the really expensive mall, isn't it?
Yes.
There's an island just for fashion?
For fashion, yeah. So there was a shooting in the Macy's parking lot, and he shot 50 rounds either at the ground or in the air. They don't know. And there was mayhem. So the only person who got hurt was someone who was mildly injured, like in the crush of people freaking the fuck out as they were on their way out.
Well, all those...
He's a registered patrolman security guard.
Oh, thanks for shitting on my brilliant idea.